Let's do a little walk through the studio, because I'll tell you the other. And while we do that, I want to swing back to something real quick. We talk about complicated relationships, right?
Yeah.
And your whole life, everyone's like, you hear all this like bullshit fucking dime store psychology of like, don't hold on to anger, and like you should forgive people, and like, and I had a shrink who's like told me I didn't have to forgive anybody, and that's fine. She's like, you don't have to. She's like, you should be pissed off. I was like, okay. So I spent my whole life like,
you should forgive some people.
Well, no,
Continue.
There's an arc here. There's a trajectory.
All right,
so
yeah.
like, I've spent a lot of my time holding on to just like, I would hold on to fucking beef in my heart. Just be like, fuck that motherfucker until they fucking rot. Like that was my, because like that person did me wrong and did me dirty. Fuck them for life.
Yeah.
And that is a way to live. But in life, you start to grow.
Tough way to live after a long time.
Yeah, you start to realize that like you're holding on to this thing and it erodes you, and that energy, it could be spent elsewhere. And I know this is what happens when you fucking get older and you age and you start to see things clearly and you get some perspective and you realize that like it is easier to let them off the hook and forgive them. And then also you get on the other side where you're doing something for that person, where you're like, you know what? I'm gonna make your life a little better, even though you didn't make my life any better. You know what I mean? Like you didn't give me what I needed, but I'm gonna give you what you need in spades. And then you supersede all of it.
Yeah.
You get to leave it all behind. And now you're looking at it and you're like, okay, I got it. And then you can move on.
If you've ever had someone in your life or know someone who has someone in their life who's really dealt with addiction, and you see someone who is lied or stolen or done something awful to you, and then you've seen them on the other side of it, lucky enough to get sober, lucky enough to turn their life around, and you realize, oh, you're not just a thief forever. You're not just a liar forever. Like you did this one thing to me and I already written you off forever for this one thing, and then you see someone come back to it and say, I was sick. This wasn't me, da-da-da-da. It's like whenever that first happened to me, it made me think about every person I've ever hated forever. You know what I mean? Every person I've been like, oh, you did this once. We can never work together. We can never. It's like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? People change. Is this episode people change, or is it timing is everything?
Timing is everything.
Okay.
Timing is everything. People change.
Reoccurring themes.
Yeah, and the other thing is like, I always talk about there's a double-edged sword here. It's like, serial killers, right? Usually we're hold on, walk with me here. Hold on. Serial killers usually come from a place of being heavily abused and fucked up, right? They got fucked up at home, then they start killing squirrels, and then they're hunting fucking, little kids in the park or whatever.
This is all true.
So there's a reason, like I was listening to that Kendrick song, Mr. Morales, where he's talking about like, he's like going in on like R. Kelly being molested, and that's why he molested people. He's going on like people being molested in like the black community and like holding it in. Like there's a reason why people.
You know that song when he's like, the first time I fucked a white bitch was in Copenhagen?
No, I don't know this.
Okay, keep going.
Anyways, I mean, not off top. So, but what I'm saying is like, there's always a reason why people inflict pain on other people. And there's two things here. One is like, yes, that person was fucked and then they went and fucked other people because of it. Now that's a reason, but it doesn't absolve you for fucking being a serial killer.
No.
And it's a double-edged sword. Like I can have empathy for someone who's like I have empathy for people who are like, that person's a fucking child molester. It must be terrible to be that person. I'm not saying they should get off the hook. They should fucking get their hands cut off and whatever. But like, it still must be hell on earth to be that person because they got fucked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Am I going down? Is this Patreon only material? What am I?
I'm glad we're in the Patreon only section.
I know you're not. Woo. You're looking at me like I'm being an apologist, which I am not.
No, you're not. I know what you're saying.
Like I'm saying, like you get beat up as a kid, and then you go out and start beating people up.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes people turn around, and don't fucking do that shit. Yeah,
it's true.
It's.
I just can't remember why we were talking about serial killers. Like there was a point.
As soon as I said serial killer, it's like you just got all dark. I'm like, what do you got against serial killers? What's the problem, Kenny?
No, it's like anything. We can get canceled for anything.
Oh yeah.
Serial killers is like it's easy topic to just go.
You can. Well, the thing is, you cannot get canceled for serial killers, but you can get canceled for saying that like.
Can we just start the studio stuff? Can we just do it? Let's just start studio.
Let's take a walk through the studio.
All right, you tell me what you want to see. I'm just gonna sit in the chair.
What do we got here? We got these two Rock'em Sock'em gentlemen.
Most of those are from my childhood. 1 or 2 of those are from the last couple years that were gifts. That's like from my actual childhood.
What
that's
are they
like,
doing, man? What's happening?
You gotta turn him around.
That's from your childhood?
No.
This is from Kenny's
You gotta
childhood.
turn him around.
Hey, look at this is the action. This is from Kenny's childhood, y'all.
Bro, he fell over. You gotta flip
I
him
don't think
around.
he fell over. I don't think he fell over. What's going on here? Okay, this is you guys do fucking toys different.
This is
North
inspiring
Poughkeepsie.
for artists. This is why I put
Where's
this
this-
stuff around. It's inspiring.
This is
Why do you think it's
inspiring.
here?
I'm inspired.
So yeah, there's a bunch of toys when I was a kid.
Got the Ren and Stimpy joints.
Yeah. There's like some of those are like Kid Robot from when like I was a little older.
Yeah, you got that guy. Fucking howdy doody.
That drawing up in the top corner of the window is from Rico Nasty's son. He drew that for me.
Where am I looking? Oh, this
Right there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's on that scratchy little.
I don't know what kind of
Yeah,
paper
you
it is.
scratch it off and there's a rainbow in
I think it's like me in the studio or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, that's that stuff.
This is like. Let's talk about this piece of equipment, okay?
This is the rare one. This is the one that like even guys who, if you know guys,
Yeah.
come in and are like, what the fuck is this thing?
Yeah, it looks like a spaceship. It looks like it would have been with Funkadelic.
Yeah,
This thing right
You're not
right?
far off. So it's 678 pounds. The bench and the synth put together. There's pedals that divide them, like bass pedals. But
Oh, this bench is so heavy.
super heavy. Yeah.
Wow.
The whole thing's huge. So basically, it's called an EX2, and it's the smaller version of this thing that they made called the Dream Machine, which they only made 10 of. And the Dream Machine, they made one for Stevie Wonder,
Whoa.
one for John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin, one for Keith Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and like a couple other people. But 10 people total got them.
That's so fucking crazy.
And it was 3 keyboards, and it was even heavier than this one. And then they tried to make a slim down version to sell to people, and that's what this is. But from what I know, there's still not that many in circulation, and especially not that many working. So I'm really lucky that this one like works perfect, and it's all over my record. Like it's
so
all
only
over
10
Louis.
people at one point had access to this very particular sound.
The keyboard before this,
Yeah.
this is like the baby model
Right.
of the 10 only.
See,
But
that's
there's only a few hundred of these total.
that's the thing. Like I was telling you when I was a kid, like I was a graffiti writer, and then I started doing rap music, and I was in a band. And I remember my dad at one point was like, you want this piece of equipment?"
Yeah.
And I was scared of it. I was like, no, because all the buttons and shit freaked me out, and because I didn't. Again, I was scared. I had a lot of fear when I was younger, so I said no to like it was like a little sampler. And I could have, dude. At that age, I could have fucking been running the boards with that thing. Like I would have a piece of equipment that blow your fucking mind. I'd be like, this is SX400.
I was the opposite. I just liked any little weird thing I can get my hands on. I always like. You can see by this room, it's like I like toys. Like even those babies in the corner. You see those babies?
Yeah.
Those make noise.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Those are synths that
Have you ever seen a Zizzle Sounds?
Zizzle sounds.
Oh my god, dude,
What's
Kenny.
that?
Okay.
Those sound like Yeezus, those babies. The one on the top I designed, the giant one, it has reverb, distortion, a couple
Wait,
other
what?
things.
What are you saying? You plug into it?
Yeah, you can plug, like you see there's cords like in the back. You can plug
wow,
cords
look at
into it.
this.
Yeah. But
So
they're,
will you plug a mic into it?
you plug them into each other.
What the fuck?
That one's an LFO. So basically that's a filter for the yellow one. And then the blue one, you can plug any keyboard, any guitar, anything into that blue one, and it'll do reverb, it'll do distortion. If anybody who plays guitar knows this pedal
This is so
called
crazy. Music people are so fucking crazy. Like, because there's a whole world here that only you guys know about.
Yeah.
Like what
it's
do you
made.
say?
They're made
He's
by
telling-
this dude Moon Armada. Shout out to him. He's a homie. He built
This
that one
is
for me custom.
A baby that's I don't even know where the fucking.
It sounds incredible.
It's a fucking.
That has 4 things on it. So his chest is delay. On the top of his head is tremolo. The back of his head is distortion, and then the other part of his
so you
stomach,
can jack a guitar into here.
a guitar,
A
a
mic.
keyboard. I usually use it for like Wurlitzers, Rhodes.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't know what a Zizzle Sounds is.
How about that? Grab that black thing behind it. Those rip.
What is this thing?
Grab that. Does it turn
Oh,
on? Don't worry. Everything's very, very, very
So
like
precarious.
very, very safe. It can all fall. It's all plastic.
There we go. What is this
I
thing?
don't. That might be out of batteries. Let me see if it turned on. This
Yo,
thing rips.
I wish I had my Zizzle Sounds. Dude, the Zizzle Sounds, I'm going to mangle explaining this. Now we're fucking talking. Now you're speaking my language.
Hold on.
Oh, bro, this is me all day.
Yeah. Looks a little sketch when you're doing it, but it rips.
This is like some fucking
I don't know what the name. What's the name of it? It's called a automaton or something.
sick.
Sick.
Okay, this
I've never used it. Never been on a song. Never. It's not had its moment yet. But the thing is, there's always a moment. And like, there's a funny thing about making music. Like, I was in a studio session recently with somebody who's written a lot of hit songs, a lot of huge songs. And there was a funny moment and everybody was laughing. Everybody was making like a joke lyric. And somebody was like, all right, let's get back to making the song. Let's stop fucking around. And the guy who has all the hits was like, don't ever do that. When people are fucking around in a creative place, that's what leads to the best shit 99% of the time. Someone's doing something that's funny or stupid, or they're making a fart joke, a jerk off joke, whatever, something dumb.
Yeah.
Even if it's not funny, let people's minds go left. And so like stuff like that, the babies, like this synth on top is a one of one custom made thing from a guy named Love Holton. And it just looks weird. It has like a readout on it that does weird shit. Like it just inspires people when they see it because they've never seen one before. And that's kind of half the battle with a lot of people I work with.
I got to show you this thing. I'm surprised you don't have one of these because I had one of these like 15 years ago, and I think in my last yard sale, my ex made me get rid of it. It's this really weird thing where it's like a white piece of plastic, and there's all these little cubes, and you put the cube on top of the plastic, and it starts making a beat, and you move it to another piece on the plastic, and it makes a different beat, and there's like, it's so fucking weird. Like it might be part of the whole like I feel like it's just some technology that we shouldn't have. Like it might be part of this whole alien rollout, and maybe they're kind of like slowly.
Yeah, that's how I feel about these. I feel like these are cameras. Maybe those little figurines made out of wood are a choir that sing together. But I just feel like they're watching me. I don't know what it's just. There's some vibe about it.
They're a choir that sing together.
They sing together. Some sing high, some sing low, but none of them sing the same range.
I gotta find this thing to show you. Because I feel like you need one of these things if they still make them.
Oh damn! I forgot about. I've used this in a minute. You ever heard of a stylophone? This thing rips. It's like a toy from the 60s they like brought back and made new versions of, but I use all the time. Oh yeah, I'm gonna buy one of those. Looks so dumb, but it looks sick.
So dumb, but it's fucking hard.
Yeah, that's sick.
I think you can jack into it too.
You gotta stop saying jack into it. Just say plug. Just say plug. You can plug it in.
Doesn't jacking into it sound?
Yeah,
like,
it sounds like especially weird when you're holding the baby. Like you can jack a guitar into this. It's like don't say that about the baby.
But it makes a noise like it jacks in. Okay,
so, I'm big into toys though. Not just like having little stupid things around, but actually using them in songs. Like I'm working on some music right now, and that little red keyboard down by your feet over there. Look in the bottom shelf. Pick up one of them red keyboards on the shelf.
Right here.
Yeah. Pick up that little red one. These are rare. They're called the Toda Tune. And so if you look at it, it's an old General Electric. I think they were like circuit breakers or something.
Can we jack into it?
Oh my God. So you can turn it on. Oh, is that a battery?
It made a noise when I picked it up.
Yeah, maybe out of battery.
Music is so fucking music is insane.
Grab the other one.
I heard a guy explain music. He goes, if someone told you that a bunch of people could get together and make vibrations that would fly through the air that would make other people feel things, would you think that was real? Because it's like kind of magical. I know this is it's kind of a stupid, pithy thing to say, but it is insane. It's insane that this is someone's job to make noises, to make people feel good. Do you ever think about it?
My job's not even just making noises. It's people who make really, really, really cool noises, trying to get them in the right space to where like they know what noises they want to make. That's half my job. It's like a lot of the shit in here is just to make someone have an idea, you know? Right. And like half the stuff I'm saying to people and talking to people about, it's like my goal is always to make someone either have fun or feel like they're making something important. And if you're doing either one, you're winning. So like when people come in here and this thing makes one note at a time, but it just looks funny and it feels funny. And there's something about this. This has ended up on so many records. And it doesn't do anything you can't do in 1 second on a computer with no equipment. It's a saw wave. It's a simple one note stupid thing. But just because of what it's coming off of, like people love using this and they love using this stupid thing and all this stuff in here, and it ends up on records. And it's not funny anymore when it's a song that's like having 100 million streams. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. There's just so many fucking variables. Like with music, there's so many places you can go. It's mind-boggling, right? Like there's just so many goddamn fucking variables. Like it's just insane. Like anything could be anything.
I mean, I think that's what stops some people from starting, right? People who
Absolutely.
are like, oh, I love music, but making it's not for me. I love art, but paintings,
right?
It's not my thing.
It can be oppressive.
I wouldn't be good at it. It's like it's the what do they call it? The something of choice.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It's like whenever
decision paralysis.
Yeah, you have too
many choices.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it feels like you don't know where to even start. But to me, like I've always said this without any shame: rip off your favorite shit to start.
Absolutely.
Rip it off
with everything.
But see if you can do it to a T.
Yeah.
Like not so you can try to fake someone out and be like, oh, this is my work and lie and plagiarize. But like when you're starting out and you don't know what it is about a rap beat that you love or what it is about. I don't paint, but like, let's say like a piece of art that you see and it makes you feel a certain way. It's like, try to do the same thing in the same medium as close as you can. Try to rip it off. Use Reddit, use YouTube tutorials, use whatever you need to.
Absolutely.
Rip it off and then
steal everything.
The way I heard he's somebody I hate, but he explained it really well. Oh, it's a bass player from Rush. Fucking Geddy Lee was explaining. Oh, you go. He was explaining, like, look at you, synth tech. This is what I like to see. See, the rap career might not be over yet.
Do you think someone could pivot?
Let me finish this anecdote.
Okay.
Geddy Lee from Rush said this thing about how when you first start, you're just like a big pot of all your influences and you sound just like all your influences and you're just like bits. Let's say you're a guitar player. It's bits of Jimi Hendrix and bits of Kurt Cobain and bits of whatever the fuck. Then you get a little older and your influences start to get wider and wider and wider. And it starts to be like, oh, people can't really pick out. Are you ripping off Joy Division? Are you ripping off Earl Sweatshirt? Are you ripping, is this an Alchemist ripoff? Or is it you can't really tell because you have all these influences.
Yeah.
And slowly you start to know enough from ripping off enough things and learning enough about all these people before you that you're able to let your personality through a little bit. And then slowly you find your sound. That's how
newsflash. That's how everything happens. That's how you learn to fucking speak as a baby.
But if you start out and you put out something and it's like your influence and your hype, and for the first time you heard Travis Scott's new album, you made a Travis Scott kind of beat, you posted on your TikTok, half the people are liking it and half the people are like, this sounds like some mid rip-off Travis type shit. You don't get the chance to like grow in that way because everyone's like, you need to be original. You need to do something no one's ever done. You need to find your own voice. It's like, how do you find your voice or even start doing something with a million options, a million ways to go if you can't, like, I don't know, find your footing? And to
you
me,
gotta crawl, baby.
It's easy to find your footing when you're like, oh man, I love like this Dre beat. And then you find out the sample and then you sample the same drums and the same thing. And you're like, oh, that's how he made it. And you feel something. It's like they say Hunter S. Thompson used to write Hemingway novels word for word just because he wanted to feel what it felt to write well. I might be getting some people's, but I'm pretty sure it was Hunter S. Thompson and Hemingway, and he like would just write entire Hemingway novels word for word because he wanted to feel it. You know?
I feel like Hemingway did that more than Hunter S. Thompson.
I might be fucking up the names, but it's some great author would write another author, like an author from 30 years ago's work.
That's so
just because they wanted to feel what that felt like. And I think that's so true with music. Helped me so much. My first beat ever was I remade a beat from like that video of Timbaland playing Jay-Z beats where he's got the big jug. I remade one of the beats in that video and I played it for my friends and they were like, bugged the fuck out. And that confidence gave me 6 months of like trying harder. And then you play your friends something, they're like, it's fucking sick. That little confidence bump. Remember when like a teenager told you were sick when you were a middle schooler?
Oh yeah.
Dude, it was like, it feels bigger than anything now in your adult life. It's like whenever you get those little boosts of, oh, you're sick. Oh, that was tight. Especially by someone you respect. It's enough to keep you going for years. Hit Boy told me when I was 16 years old, I sent Hit Boy beats and he was like, your drums are trash, but you got some good ideas. That's all I needed for the next 4 years.
Good. Yeah.
He's doing Lil Wayne songs. He told me I got good ideas. Like, that's all I needed.
Fuck.
I think that's the thing that I started realizing years ago is I want to be the best at music. And like when I'm in here and I'm with people and I'm playing them a beat or I'm making something or I'm playing an instrument, I want them to be like, holy shit, this is amazing. He's so talented. That's what I do want.
Yeah.
But what I'm the best at is this part of it is like making someone want to make music, the talking part of it, which is great that I'm a producer and not an artist, because you don't get to choose what you're the best at. You know what I mean? I can make someone who's on the fence of like, I love music, but I'm not sure. I can make that person get pretty close to trying, if not trying. You know what I mean? If I'm with an artist and they're like, I'm losing it right now, I don't know what to make, I don't know what, my specialty is like helping someone get right, get in the zone.
That's like an actual old school 70s style producer does.
I guess, yeah.
That's what like Rick Rubin does, and those guys, like, they sit down and they're
in
like,
a way,
right?
But that's not what I want. I'm not doing that by choice. I'm not like, I want to step back and orchestrate. It's like what I want to do is get better at playing piano. I want to get better at programming.
You play a lot of instruments, right?
I play everything that's in this room.
Yeah, it's sick.
So like,
I came in, we were playing the drums.
I went to Berkeley for guitar, for jazz guitar, and that's like, I got a degree in jazz guitar. But like keys, I mean, the thing I've been trying to learn for years, and so that's the thing I'm the shittiest at. But like, I can play keys on all the stuff you hear me producing. I'm playing keys on a ton of it, but for me, it's my weakest instrument. So when I talk to people who are great at playing piano, like I work with Corey Henry, who's one of the greatest keyboard players in the world right now. Corey was just like, you should just learn songs. And it's the exact same advice that we're talking about. He was just like, yes, you can learn your scales and your notes and what everything you're playing means, but at first you kind of just need to feel it. And this is just his advice, but he's one of the best in the universe. So I'm taking his advice.
Crazy is like, I got in my head when I was younger to never bite anything, and it fucked me up for years because I refused. Like when I was doing graffiti or other things, I was like, I will not imitate anybody, and my shit was just trash.
Yeah.
Until I fucking started emulating other things to build my own fucking repertoire, to build a base, and then you move on from it. You know,
it's only biting if the world hears it though. Until it reaches oxygen, it doesn't mean anything. It's like you have to make 10 trash beats and do 10 trash pieces to get your one good one anyway. Bro, you can make those 10 trash ones in silence and delete them. You can do it somewhere where you don't show anybody. You know what I mean? It's like, but it's biting whenever you try to release them as your own that was someone else's idea. To me, it's not biting whenever it's like research. And I think
it's influence.
When you're at the top, if you're Jordan and you're watching film of Larry Bird or some shit because you're trying to see what their moves are, and you're like, oh, I need to be able to do these moves or defend these moves or try to know at least what they're doing so that I can know what I want to do. Like, there's nothing that's not respected about that. I don't see why it's not the same in art where you can't say like
nothing isn't built from its predecessor. Technology, everything is built off the thing before it. You know, the Model T begat the fucking Tesla eventually. Like, it's just the way shit goes. And nothing happens without, you know, the people before it. Let me ask you this. I started asking you this before. Do you think there's a world where a middle-aged person could just be like, I'm going to start making music and catch up and have a career?
I mean, Bill Withers dropped his first album at 33 years old. He worked in a factory and he wrote Ain't No Sunshine and fucking The Two of Us and all these songs in his mid-30s. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think it's possible for anybody. I mean, there's people even later than that, but like, I have people who've told me to my face about being in their 30s, you know what I mean, being a much older year than a lot of kids expect them to be, and being broke and being fucked up. Mark Cuban had $0 like going into his 30s, you know what I mean? Mark Ronson, who's doing the Barbie soundtrack and Amy Winehouse and Uptown Funk, one of the biggest songs in history. He told me when I was 29 years old about being 29 years old and having no money and being fucked up and having to break a framed $100 bill that Diddy gave him when he DJ'd because he needed the $100 bill. Like,
you see, but that's different because that guy was in music his whole life. He just didn't break yet. I'm talking about someone who's like a fucking...
They've never done anything and then they start...
Like, let's say they just like all of a sudden were like, you know, I just want to make music now. And they're like 48.
Susan Boyle. What was her name?
Oh, yeah, Susan Boyle.
I mean,
America's Got Talent.
I think what keeps the best people in music or a lot of the greatest shit out of music is just the music industry. There's a lot of people who are singing in churches and singing in places around the world or just playing at kumbayas for their family and that are better than a lot of our favorite people.
And also, it doesn't matter what the fuck your answer is, because this is the thing about it. It doesn't, like, whether or not you believe someone can do something or not, it doesn't matter if you have to just go out and try to fucking do it, eat shit or not, or fucking fail.
You got a better shot now in 2023 than you ever did.
That's
like
true.
It used to be like the music industry and the Max Martins and the certain people in the music industry knew what worked in pop music and people knew how to sell it. And Mike Karen knew what the trend forecast was, and this is going to be a hit at this time. TikTok fucked it all up. Social media fucked it all up. Now, like, a random song blows up because the video is funny. That kid's #1 on the radio. It's like, something like a Ice Spice or Sexy Red or certain people right now who are winning, labels were not picking that shit out until there was a buzz, until there was like people obsessed with it. And now
also TikTok will break a song that was out 15 years ago and re-break it.
Yeah,
Like,
look at Kate Bush.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
Stranger Things, right? That's what did that.
Yeah, it did. But any random thing happening now, it's like I think it could happen for somebody right now more than it ever could before. More because you used to have to go to a label office and they say you're too old, you're too this.
If this year's taught me anything, I know that anything could fucking happen.
I mean, dude,
anything can happen at any time. I don't even. This is the rabbit hole of just like it's just amazing. I like it's
everything in here has a story too, so it takes forever.
It's crazy,
Yeah.
and just like I love the inside of people's crafts.
Yeah.
You know, like if you go to a fucking wood shop and you see all the chisels and the fucking machines and all these things, like it's years spent living with these tools, and it's not stuff. These are tools. Like there's people that have stuff. There's people that have like shit everywhere, and they're like, I got this thing, I got that thing. No. These are fucking tools that are also aesthetically beautiful that make music. It's like, again, the Yerba is talking to me. You know what I mean? And I'm on that Yerba wave right now. But I will say that like I like to look at things that are very obvious, and every time, and I look at them as if I just discovered that this is a real thing. I don't know why. I tend to, you know, like the other day I was like talking to someone, I was like, dude, you ever fucking think about giraffes? Like, what the fuck, you know? And I know that that's not a novel thought. Like, I know that people do this all the time, but like, that's what I have the brain of a baby sometimes. And I come in here, I'm just like, my mind is just boggled because I don't even know how to turn that thing on.
I mean,
you know?
the thing about this room at this point too is like that corner and most of the stuff over here, even stuff like built into the desk, like this console.
Yeah.
Most of this is old shit. There's even a certain smell in here just because like that drum kit's from the 60s. That piano's from the 40s. You know what I mean?
Cool.
These are from the 70s. That Rhodes from the 70s. These are from the 60s. This is from, I think, early 80s. It's like that keyboard, all this shit, that amp is from the mid 60s. It's
like 15-year-old you would have never imagined this.
Well, when you think about that though,
right?
we're no, never. But we're our age now. When you say 50s and 60s, we're like, oh, it's 50 years old. It's like, bro, some of this shit, if something's from the 40s, like this piano now, dude, it's 80 years old. This piano.
Cool.
It's like
that's so cool.
The things that are in here from like the newest computer or whatever the fuck I'm using, or drum machine or whatever. It's like there's the old shit kind of does something to you. And my next spot that I'm working on.
Yes.
I want it even less treated than this. And like the one thing about music studios versus art studios or so many other places is there's a lot of like laser tag, like neon light with the black and red padded wall. There's not a lot of like cool spaces that are like wood and stone that you see as much as you used to. Everything
that's not
now
inspiring. You don't want plastic.
No,
you want
and whenever
wood.
you build a studio, the way people do stuff now is like you want
look,
all this padding.
Have you shot into the booth? I love all the framing here.
I mean,
is this soundproofing?
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome.
And there's like a couple feet of soundproofing in every direction of every wall. But my homie Josh built this for me super fast and did a great job.
Shout out Josh. I also love the carpets too. Classic.
Yeah, these, I mean, the carpets are all 60s, 50s.
Love that. I think I need to get in the booth.
We can get you in there.
I think I need to get in there and just like basically shock the world with just like the hottest bars that anyone's ever heard.
We can get you in there.
I'll get in there.
Yeah, a beat is going to cost you like $80K, but
easy,
like we can record you for free.
The
on
Patreon's
whatever.
on fire right
what
now.
What are we going to record you on, like Ambitions as a Rider or like just whatever instrumental you choose? I mean, yeah, I don't know how you're feeling.
He won't even let me fucking put my voice near one of his beats. He's like, you can use the most Ambitions of a Rider.
Bro,
like
YouTube has everything now. It's crazy. I can even take vocals off shit. It's like whatever you need.
Can you?
Yeah, but like.
Strip?
Bro, but
it has every instrumental known to man.
Yeah, but like me playing an instrumental off this computer right now is like every second costs $5,000.
It's true.
That's just how it is.
It's just how it is. At least he knows his worth. Guys, get on the Patreon now that you're here because you got to sign up. If there's no way I'm going to fucking ever afford a base level Kenny Beats beat for $80K, that's at the bottom.
We have family prices.
That's a throwaway.
There's
beat.
family prices for certain people. You never know.
Certain people.
Just do whatever you feel on this. You know, just like whatever comes to mind.
Can I get a different effect on my voice?
No.
Okay. Wow. Beep 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 beep. Liquid molasses, liquid molasses, liquid molasses, rolling down your butt cheeks, baby. I think you're hotter than oatmeal. I can feel your spirit inside my brain. When I sit inside my sauna, I'ma eat you
to think about you, baby. Look at little squirts. He was an embryo and then he was a semen backwards. I'ma think I'm in my bed demon when I'm slacking, knacking, touching butts, touching butts, touching butts. Thinking about the word that rhymes with butts. Not gonna say sluts, but I think I'm going nuts when I gotta wear a tux like a monkey in a truck. But fuck a barrel of big bad burrito babies, and I had to think about a dog that just got rabies and scabies, and maybe I'm delirious, but I'm serious about the lollipop and twitchy stopping, maybe mopping up the marker on the wall. Graffiti made me talk.
One take. Just one take.
Something about Arsenio Hall. Long ass fingers, long ass fingers, long ass fingers, 30, 40 feet long. Arsenio Hall, can you imagine his dong? If his fingers were 32 feet each long, that would be 1,000,000 miles to the moon. I had to take a spoon of pink berry, cause I'm scary, motherfucker. That's right, when I touch your mom, she starts to blush and pucker for a kiss that she missed on my lips, and I'm so fucking goddamn delish. Let her lick the wrapper.
If this isn't Patreon content, I don't know what the fuck.
Patreon content.
Please get out of my booth and never go back in it.